Now, on our top story, more than 1,000 popular movements, political parties, unions and various organizations worldwide have called on countries to endorse South Africa's genocide case against Israel. The organizations have urged national governments worldwide to promptly file declarations of intervention in support of the South African case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. In a historic first, the International Court of Justice at the Hague on Thursday last week opened its inaugural session on South Africa's genocide assault against Israel, a development that has garnered widespread support from many nations, echoing global calls for a ceasefire in Gaza.
Israeli occupying forces have bombed hospitals, residences, United Nations refugee centers, schools, places of worship and escape routes, killing and injuring tens of thousands of Palestinians since 7 October 2023, with more than half of the dead being women and children.
South Africa has a long history of close relations with Israel. For this reason, it did not bring the dispute immediately to the attention of the court. The South African government repeatedly voiced its concerns in the Security Council and in public statements that Israel's actions had become genocidal. On 10 November, in a formal diplomatic démarche, it informed Israel that while it condemned the actions of Hamas, it wanted the International Criminal Court to investigate the leadership of Israel for international crimes, including genocide.
According to the Palestinian health authorities, over 23,000 Palestinians have since been killed, with over 60,000 injured.
There is an urgent need for provisional measures to protect Palestinians in Gaza from the irreparable prejudice caused by Israel's violations of the Genocide Convention. The United Nations Secretary-General and its chiefs described the situation in Gaza variously as a crisis of humanity, a living hell, a bloodbath, a situation of utter deepening and unmatched horror, where an entire population is besieged and under attack, denied access to the essentials for survival on a massive scale.
The United Nations has reported that 85% of the population of Gaza is already internally displaced amid acute shortages of food, clean water and medicine, while 60% of the enclave's infrastructure is damaged or destroyed.
As the United Nations Under-Secretary-General for Humanitarian Affairs stated last Friday, and I quote, "Gaza has become a place of death and despair. Families are sleeping in the open as temperatures plummet. Areas where civilians were told to relocate for their safety have come under relentless bombardment. Medical facilities are under relentless attack. The few hospitals that are partially functional are overwhelmed with trauma cases, critically short of all supplies, and inundated by desperate people seeking safety. A public health disaster is unfolding. Infectious diseases are spreading in overcrowded shelters as sewers spill over. Some 180 women are giving birth daily amidst this chaos. People are facing the highest levels of food insecurity ever recorded. Famine is around the corner. For children in particular, the last 12 weeks have been traumatic. No food, no water, no school, nothing but the terrifying sounds of war day in and day out. Gaza has simply become uninhabitable.
On December 29th, South Africa filed the case before the International Court of Justice in The Hague, submitting photo evidence that clearly shows Israel committing war crimes in the Gaza Strip.
South Africa is not alone in drawing attention to Israel's genocidal rhetoric against Palestinians in Gaza. 15 United Nations special rapporteurs and 21 members of the United Nations working groups have warned that what is happening in Gaza reflects a genocide in the making and an overt intent to destroy the Palestinian people under occupation.
The court has heard of the horrific death toll and of the more than 7,000 Palestinian men, women and children reported missing, presumed dead or dying slow, excruciating deaths trapped under the rubble. Reports of field executions and torture and ill-treatment are mounting, as are images of decomposing bodies of Palestinian men, women and children left unburied where they were killed, some being picked upon by animals. It is becoming ever clearer that huge swathes of Gaza, entire towns, villages, refugee camps, are being wiped from the map.
Over 1,000 international organizations have united in support of South Africa's genocide case against Israel at ICJ.
Israel has a genocidal intent against the Palestinians in Gaza. That is evident from the way in which Israel's military attack is being conducted, which has been described by Ms. Hassim SC. It is systematic in its character and form.
Amongst the organizations are Nahost Grab Mannheim from Germany, Malcolm X Center for Self-Determination from United States, Islamic Human Rights Commission from United Kingdom, Israelis Against Apartheid from Israel, Jordanian Federal of Independent Trade Unions, Mediciana Democratica from Italy, Institute for the Critical Study of Zionism, One Justice from France, South African Jews for a Free Palestine, and the International Iraqi Women Assembly. The public hearing in the case against Israel began on Thursday. Salma Salim, The Muslim Insights.